we can't talk about press freedom. And that is because today, in May 3, we're in a world, you can hear the blue whale in heartbeats from over 2 miles away. The blue whale, there is this bigger, very big fish now. Or you go say animal, some people even know they refer to them as fish. So like in heartbeat, you can hear them from over 2 miles away when you ask the beats. That now fun fact on the program Rise and Shine. So this morning, like I don't tell you already, we can't talk about press freedom, and that's because today in a World Press Freedom Day. Press Freedom Day, they provide opportunity for celebrate the achievements of journalists them and as well the media professionals them who on the work one for inform the public, for uphold the principles of free speech and as well independent journalism. Press Freedom Day, of course, they celebrate as well the significance occasion where they highlight or they pinpoint the fundamental principle them of press freedom, and as well they assess the state of media freedom around the world, and also they defend the independence of journalists them. Press freedom, they offer like opportunity them for global reflection on the vital role where free media they play in our society. So this will go for be today, will go for be the 31st edition where they mark this day also when the Press Freedom Day. But for me, we can even talk more about this and other things that we're going for do with Press Freedom. Really, I got now the studios now with me, Mohamed Kone, in the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists. We're in large. Mohamed, good morning. Welcome to the program Rise and Shine.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's begin from the basic. When we say free press or press freedom, what do we mean?
When we talk about press freedom, it simply means the journalists them forget a way for practice them profession freely in a society where nobody can hold them because they practice them in trade, and also the journalists not for afraid when they practice. Outside the practice, outside the go work, the environment where they, you will be free for practice. But all of this comes with responsibility. It not means say because we say a free press means you for practice recklessly. We'll talk about that later on. Exactly. But when we talk about press freedom, that the journalists forget that freedom for practice in trade freely. Nobody know for stop that journalist, nobody know for unbug that journalist, not even government, not even the police, any other person, not for unbug that journalist, where they practice that in trade freely, as long as they practice that in the most responsible way.
And well, why do you think at times it's difficult for make the press be free in certain societies? Maybe Sierra Leone included, but just let's look at it. Why you think perhaps certain societies they I don't know how to put it, they pressure the press not for free? Why you think those things can arise?
There are so many things then we can talk around that. Me and you we see down here anything what they do bad. I don't want let you talk them out. Even in a small family group, so we day, now we also would day. If me I do something way wrong, I don't want to let any other person talk them. Now the good things what they do now I know what I want to let them do. So in a society where you get people in the society you get corrupt people you get people where they abuse people in rights, you get people where they do the wrong things them, you get people where they thief government money, you get people where they thief other things them. Then people they don't want for let the press go be free. They don't want to let the press go be strong. They don't want to let the press go be vibrant. So in a society of that nature, you will always get people we always strive for make sure that the press not free. Because when the press is free, they no say anything when they do we wrong, it go down the public. And they not one down there. So in any kind of society, you always get people where they stop the press not for be free. And also you get a repressive government, an authoritarian government, a government where always they do the wrong things them. They go always want that press they not for be free. They go always bring restrictions then come. A number of things then go there against them, the press when they go and follow be free. So in a simple way, why certain society not want a press to be free? Now just because they don't want the things them where they do it wrong, they don't want to lay it out.
And if that's the case, society not want allow free press, and the press is really not free in that society. What thing will happen? What are some of the implications then?
Now when they talk about where you talk about democracy, you talk about governance. This is the aspect that we make you need to forget a free press, because in a society where democratic principles not they prevail, there will be no free press. And one of the bedrock of democratic principles now a free press, because the press serve as check and balance for duty bearers, the one that they govern with. The press they serve as a check and balance because where you not get a press, say you not get a free press in a society, you get people in authority, duty bearers, officials, public officials, they do whatever they want for do because they know say the press they talk them. But in the case where you get a democratic society with a free press, my brother, you anything you want for do, you will be careful. You careful, you know say for anything what they do, you get people the way they look me because they press the checkmate. So for the fact that society knows there are people and where they out there where they look at them, where they look at what they do, society will be shaped, society will be careful of what they do, and society will always try very hard for do the things that we correct because the press they promote things that we correct. The press they promote a number of things that we know the society do, and the press also they educate the public. Because this is another thing we sometimes, most time when they talk about. The press mostly they educate the public on a number of things them. Now let's talk about the civic rights where they talk about. I mean, the citizen gets different rights them, but they also get responsibility. And the press always they bring come at the fore. Then things in the way in a civic responsibility where people are supposed to do. I mean, when it comes in terms of education, the press they do a number of things them on health issues. The press they do a number of things them when it comes to climate change, water and sanitation. The press they do a number of education on all of that. So that make you need the press for always there around because a number of the education there where people do not understand about the press they bring come. I know say here at Rise Radio when I get a number of programs them. We in an educative program, we educate the people. That's the more reason why I make the press very, very important. Because we educate the public, we make sure that they understand the things that where they happen in society and bring into them the news, things where they happen around them. I mean, we all not able to do one place for see what they happen. But because the press if something happen in Kabbalah, the press the brand come and will understand what they happen. If something happen na Kailaun, the press the brand come to the fore so that people don't understand. That's the more reason why I make the press important. And the reason why that we make when they talk about press freedom, we're very, very important. Because if the press not free, how we will bring then things that will happen around we. Even the things that were good, sometimes it will be difficult for the brand come because if you're not free for practice with trade, sometimes you get even the freedom for bringing the things that we right in society.
All right, it's name now Mohamed Kone, in the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists Large, and the day between the program Rise and Shine. If just the join we today we talk about press freedom as today in our World Press Freedom Day. My name now Musa by Sise. Feel free for join the conversation by way I go message or call with the number na 077-963-963. Let's take this conversation to yourself as well. What do you think about press freedom na Salon and maybe globally, but then Salon specifically? What do you think? You think whether you're a journalist or self, you're not just a citizen, yourself they're not the country. What do you think? You think the press get that free will for do what they're supposed to do? Or you think otherwise? Let's hear your thoughts. The number na 077-963-963. 963-963. So, Cornel, let's look at press freedom globally. Whether how much you able to rate press freedom globally in terms of it's been free or not, and then as well, we'll try to localize them. Let's see which percentage you will give Salon press freedom.
Okay. Press freedom vary from country to country, but if you look at the global picture, the press. To some large extent, it's free, and people then free for practice than trade. But if you now take specific countries, then let's go na Israel and Gaza for now. If you go there right now, the life of the journalists they're in very difficult situation because as we speak, they don't kill 106 journalists. Now just na Gaza that area there. And some of the killings where they don't kill journalists there, not to the coastline, no. Now they were targeted. They were actually targeted. Because why? Because they provide the news waiting to happen. And so they were targeted by forces where they fight. So in that area there, you will say the press not free for practice here now currently. Logo Afghanistan is another area again where the press is difficult for the press for practice. Because for anything where they happen in that country they currently, you want for brand come out, it will be difficult. Even China, as we speak, the press is being censored because it will be difficult for them to get an independent press in China because almost all media houses in China, they are supported and funded by government. Now, only waiting government one for they put out, nine they put out. But now, let's come back to Africa. This we did out of Africa. Now in Africa, the press to some extent free for practice, but there are challenges. And we take Sierra Leone for example. For people that will say, now we get plenty newspaper. As we speak, we get 276 registered newspapers in the country. People will say, that's not press freedom because they allow the press for register. We get over 70 registered radio stations. And we get 10 TV stations where they operate in a salon. So to an estimation, you will say, the press is free. I mean, then they allow them for register. And if you open, every morning you open radio, the press, the journalists, and they talk anything kind of where they want for talk. Yes, to some extent, the press is free in Sierra Leone. But let's come to the economy of the press, the media poverty. This is where I can say the press is not free because there is so much media poverty where you cannot salon. Why? In the first place,
so it means the media not get better money for
the media not get better money because the only way you get money. For example, if you want to do investigation, let's say you want to go a Kube, but you meet a house now, not even able to give transport. Maybe you don't come on a use, you not even get money. You never even get transport for turn back now, but you meet a house not even able to support you for go Kube, for example. I'm not saying that you want to go Kabbalah, you want to go Kailan, or you want to go some other provincial area there for do stories. Let's say story on water and sanitation, stories on climate change, when are the new vogue now, story on gender issues. You know, I mean, you meet a house not able for support you. Not that they don't want for support you, but they not get the means. One, the space, the space small, the market small, na salon. So these are some of the things there. But also, we also get certain restrictions where we can a salon. We don't say the Public Order Act of 1965, Part 5 of that Public Order Act, we don't come up. Where they restrict the media not for practice freely. Then they don't come out. But also government also come with the cybercrime law. We also get restriction. Section 44 of that law, they restrict journalists for practice. In a sense that that law, that particular section, they not clear as to who for all you if you go against the law. For example, in other jurisdiction, if a journalist sends something on social media, then get a particular rank officer. If they finance that, if they demand say you have go against the law, it should be a particular from sergeant upwards. If in the holy phone self, now that particular person there for holy phone, and that particular person there for even invite you.
So
but in Sierra Leone, yes, in Sierra Leone, it's not clear. That law is not clear. So any officer can hold you. And imagine when somebody they take your phone.
One you say if you don't commit a crime, it's a crime. Whether even sometimes even civilian get rights for hold you and hand you over to the police for instance.
No. I can argue that day.
How?
With law, the 1991 Constitution, section chapter 3, we talk about fundamental human rights. It gets all them aspect and they where they tell you as to how you handle the person we go against the law. There are crimes that we commit. Anybody kill. Law say you don't commit a crime of murder. Anybody kill you. Civilian or whatever, and when they hold you, now for hand you over to the police. They can detain you in the community and hand you over to the police. So there are laws, there are kind of we commit where you get specific things they wouldn't do towards you. For example, if you commit murder, when they investigate you, it takes 10 days for them to investigate you, and also only 10 days before even they charge you. If you commit felony, it also go for like a maximum of 10 days when they investigate you. But there are certain crimes where you commit, now 3 days investigation. So all of the law clear on all of that. But now in the cybercrime law, any police officer kill you, and then get their responsibilities when it comes to holding your gadget. For example, your phone, your computer, or any electronic aspect thing where they use, there should be guide as to who for handler, because they get for handler with responsibility. Because if they hold your phone, you get any police officer with hold your phone, we don't get responsibility. You can go inside your phone and do any kind of way. And your phone is a personal thing. Though you don't commit a crime, that phone they can hold them, but there should be certain officers who for hold that phone day. In other jurisdictions, then law and the specific. Because for be an officer, we get responsibility. So if anything go wrong with your phone, then the whole responsible. So all of that not clear. So in Sierra Leone today, press freedom. I mean, we are largely free for practice. I mean, even if you go on social media now, people in the sense you get citizen journalism where they do any kind of thing on social media. But sometimes although in the class they're all as journalists, but making people you get social media journalism not to make it call not journalists them. These are citizen journalism when they practice because they can take anything and send it on social media. Me and you not journalists. We not just take something, we send them on social media, we take and can publicize them because we get a responsibility. So to some large extent, we are free for practice, but we still get economic bondage. We still hunt the media not for practice freely.
Okay, I'll come back to my name now, Mohamed Kone, in the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists, and today we're doing the program Rise and Shine today. This morning we talk about press freedom, as in a World Press Freedom Day. My name is Musa Baisise. Feel free for joining me. You self know the state of the media and Salon to a very large extent. Whether or not you're a journalist, you self know. So what do you think about the press in free one, Salon or no free one? You go call you on 0779 63963, 0779 63963. And the number I will call and add the voice now the program. So as today with Kone, we'll come begin to call them just now. Let's look at the area of the laws them as well as government on the put in place the policies then we also don't enhance press freedom over the years. For example, you mentioned the Part 5 of the Public Order Act where government be done repeal. And 2013 as well, we see the government be introduced the right to access information law, where them instrument there. Another one then really they give platform for journalists for get more information or more access to information where they enhance their work them, where also they help for them work freely in a society. So let's talk about them kind of instruments in there.
Yeah. Thank you also. For the fact that government remove Part 5 of the Public Order Act, and we say thank you to government because that law they be they prevent journalists not for practice. Because that law the more the truth, the more the libel. Even when they talk to, that law they hold you. Because if the person feel aggrieved, say this thing with this person don't talk, despite not true, yes, then for go along. And that will make them then the whole journalist and hold you on Friday. You spend that weekend day, the Monday they left you.
So we don't see any major difference really whether they don't create so
yeah,
far.
I mean this law, from when they remove this law, to be frank enough, when they remove this law, that arrest on journalists don't reduce drastically. First time, almost every month or every week, you go say the old journalist today, we get so much headache every now and then for going to a police station, for go advocate for journalists, pull press release, that all these journalists here and there. It don't reduce drastically. Not that they still hold journalists, but it don't reduce. And even in the introduction of the right to access law, where they give freedom for access information, yes, we still get with the access information, but not to that extent, because there is a civil service code. We did that. There are certain officers in the civil service who are the normal for give information. Now, if you go like Kabbalah, you want to investigate a health issue in Kabbalah, then go tell you the health officer in Kabbalah will tell you say, no, we not get any directives from Freetown, so we not going to give that information there. So the civil service code was still there, despite the right to access information there, but there's a civil service code where they prevent public officials them not forget that information there, because there's certain information we not to classify information, no, because only classified information like military gadgets, how much military, if the military want to buy weapons or whatever, they not for disclose that one day, or the country reserve or whatever, certain information they no go disclose them to you. But there are simple few informations them where you go want where the civil, if you go to the information person one of them ministry, it will tell you say, this information and the permanent secretary, I no more go forgive you. Or it will tell you that the professional head no more go forgive you. Or this information, only the minister no more go release that information there. So that civil service code still there where they prevent journalists there. In as much as the access to information law there, but it still prevent you. Also in that law, when you ask for information, the ministry or the agency of the government MDA gets 14 days for give that information there. Law assumes this is a life-threatening information that you want for put them out, and you go ask for that information there. They say 14 days before they give that information there. So all of that, they hinder the journalists not for put certain information out. But again, yes, this is a law way. Now safeguards again. In one way, you get disadvantage, you get advantage because it's a safeguard. It's a safeguard we then put together that maybe some information there, though not classified, but the information, is it of public interest? We also get for look at that day. Is this information of public interest we want to put out? Because it's not of public interest. Within that 14 days, they go down look at them and weigh the pros and cons.
So what they determine whether it's in the public interest? Is it a journalist? Because from a journalistic point of view, the person will argue say it's a public interest. Then the official perhaps go see and say, no, this, they're in that kind of way.
Very good question as to who they determine. Because in the law, it is not clear who determines whether it is in the interest of the public. That's why every law, for every 5 years, they for review them. Because the access to information law done there for some time now. And I think it's time we also get for begin to look at them and look at all of them. Because when it comes to public interest, who determines what is public interest? Sometimes they will tell you that the courts could determine if it's in the interest of the public. And not to a magistrate, it should be a judge. Now that then go tell you. So all of this not clear in the law as it is in the public interest. Right. But something in the journalist will look and say this is of public interest. But the person will go sit down, we get that information. They will say it's not in the public interest. Whose public we want this information.
Okay, I'll come back to my name now Mohamed Kone in the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists. Today now the program with you this morning, Rise and Shine, and today we'll talk about press freedom because today now World Press Freedom Day. My name now Musa Bias. I will come back just after the break and continue with Kone. But also I want to hear from you really. What do you think about press freedom now Salon? You go call me on 077-963-963 when we come back.
It's AfriCell Win Couple. Time door each for so much more. Play more, get more, and win more with AfriCell Win Couple. Over 1 million new Leons cash prizes they go every day, every week, every month, and for crown it all, every 3 months. One lucky AfriCell subscriber they win 150,000 new Leons. This now you time for get more. For qualify, just a top up every day. And you can win the daily prize when a 500 new Leons. Call *488# for just 1 new Leons and you go qualify for the weekly, monthly, and grand draw them. Also you go get chance for win 5,000 new Leons every week, 15,000 new Leons every month, and 150,000 new Leons every 3 months. Them don't really reach for get more. Play Win Couple today and you self can win Boku Boku Couple with AfriCell. Call *488#, play the trivia game, get more points and big up your chances for win more with AfriCell. This now the Win Couple revamp. You chance for get more.
Can Win Couple, Win Couple.
Yeah. Are you ready now? Where I want to pop na net. I the chat with Leo. Check me bank account for no almost I get. Chat with Leo. Make transfer by ETSA. I the chat with Leo. It in a Instagram. It in WhatsApp. Just chat with Leo. Any side where I day at the bank. Any time of the day at the bank. You be here, make 'em easy for make we chat with Leo. Any side where I day at the bank. Any time of the day at the bank. The mommy in money come out way I chat with Leo.
0799199919. Not so call now, but text anytime when you come online. Action accounts, you can make any save you time. Yeah, Insta, Facebook, and WhatsApp, Apple Message, Google Business Chat.
Where I want to pop na net, I dey chat with Leo. Check me bank account for no almost I get. Chat with Leo. Make transfer by EDSA. I dey chat with Leo. It dey na Instagram, it dey WhatsApp. Just chat with Leo. I dey bank.
Okay, welcome back from that break there. Still listen to the program Rise and Shine. Excuse me, Rise and Shine. Will come to you from Rise Radio 96.3 FM. And today in the program, we talk about press freedom as today in our World Press Freedom Day. And for that, I get at the studio Mohamed Kone, who is the financial secretary for the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, who is Slajabolo Swangi, your ministerial position. Anyway, all right, so Kone, but you said what you listen actually can call now and tell me what you think about the media, whether it's free or not free. When we talk about press, really we mean the media, to some extent. So what do you think about them work? You said on the follow, is it free or not? One for you from you. The number now 07796396. Also, if you're not a journalist, they listen right now, you can tell better whether the press is free or not, regardless perhaps what you don't hear you from Mr. Conan at the studio. But then, Conan, let's look at some threats still they happen around, because you have mentioned as much as largely it's free, but we still get some challenges. For example, about 2 weeks or so ago, we see a whole press release from Sludge, they condemn the threats, against certain journalists as well. So let's look at those areas as we talk about press freedom.
Yeah, so for me, this is the gray area that when it comes to press freedom, because as we start the discussion, we talk you get people in society, anything where they do wrong, they don't want to let it in the public. So for any journalist where they come out and the things that were wrong in society, you get people where they come after you. And now the new trend we don't see in a salon now people on social media, they attack journalists them. For any time a journalist puts something out, you get people in social media where they come against you. Then they affect the journalists, because if the journalists they practice and people in the all over social media they threaten in life, the journalists will now begin for afraid not for put out the information when sensitive information them where they put in the public. For example, Amadou Lamranaba will pull a press release on Amadou Lamranaba because you get a number of people where they come on social media, they threaten in life, that what you they do so where they write about the president, they write about the first lady, or they write about this government will come against you. They can cause on social media. All of that they dampen the spirit of the journalists. So we as large no go left sit down, and people in social media they threaten the life of your own colleague and will not come and put out a release for tell the public these are the people where they threaten the life of a journalist, that if anything go wrong with this journalist, then people are responsible. So that are the more reason. So we don't get we don't get few cases where
but in most cases then you listen to can see you not mention name or see them mention name. But now the time you say
no, but yes, we not mention them specific because some of them if the public they look at people within social media, they see what do they do now for just caution, for caution and call government the attention that when I get people where they on social media where they threaten the life of journalists and this stuff will happen, and that therefore put a stop to it. I mean, we all know we all know if we all on social media, we know the people where they threaten journalists Then they all over social media, and even government they see them, because some of them most of them are government operatives Although you get few of them where we're not government operatives, but most of them are government operatives.
Organization like Sludge, for instance, not will get any means for bringing legal actions, for example. Being that they say we know, I don't know we don't know the way, but they say we know the people the way they get them kind of threats. Then can't you guys, as an association, for example, think about taking some legal actions then?
For now, it go reach time we will take we'll go to that stage. But for now, what we will do first now for caution people and call government the attention to then kind of people in there, that these are the people that really disturb the peace of society. These are the people that really disturb the peace of the journalism where they go on, the press freedom where they talk about. If you government don't work assiduously, you don't do good. You don't pull the Part 5 of the Public Order Act. You don't enact laws them. I mean, because we can call them laws. They are progressive law. Even the Giwi law, where government enact, these are progressive laws them. If they enact progressive laws them, for again allow people that we want for damping, or people that we want for put spanner into them laws and we don't enact. Then give bad name. I mean, most of them are government operatives them. All you need for doing is for caution them, for let them stop. Because for threatening the life of a journalist, I mean, not to any child's play. If you talk to them, this journalist will come against you, will beat you, the way they do, if we catch you. I mean, and when I talk about say we know them, we as journalists, we sabi them. Even the government, the government officials then, they sabi them. The public sabi them. These are people that within our social media. We know some social media operatives them. Me and you see there, we sabi them. So that I say we sabi them.
My argument is if I know you for be like an enemy, an open and that, why is it then difficult for me for able to handle you? Perhaps we are the law even provides such.
Now, in this age where we do now, or at this stage, there is no way we can go to courts. We can go to court or take legal action now. Let me tell you, we'll take legal action when we see fit necessary.
When some bad thing going to happen now.
Not to like when some
people
bad.
are sending threats and you say these guys and then you say something now for it much later time. I say it will reach a time when we will take legal action because this then threat there come. But since we put out a press release, it has not continued. But it's not the first one.
It's not the first one. Mm-hmm. I mean, threat will not come against different people. Not only Lamrana no more.
So until something bad happens tomorrow for one journalist before I actually take some legal steps, that's what they say.
Not to that they say. Not to that they say.
Okay.
Not to be if a threat comes once against this person, and we caution or we put a release out, then it stop, and it come against again another person. We put a release and it stop. Talk they go court at that moment there. But when that kind of threat there, you see 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, then it now rings a bell in your ear that you need to do something apart from the press release where they put out. And if you realize that we also as large, we're not to the law, we're not to a court of law, we're not to police officers. And we also this then press release there. It also
as then get right for sue.
Definitely. I mean, we are not above the law. Nobody's above the law. We get right for sue and also get right for sue where and deemed necessary. Yeah. But to not reach to that stage they that's how they try for sue. Not reach to that stage, but not to the stage where bad thing will happen. Okay. Not to that stage at the try for talk about. Right. But when we deem necessary that we need for do something where beyond putting out a press release, then we go cross that bridge there.
All right, so I'll come back to my name now Mohamed Kone in the Financial Secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists. The program now Rise and Shine from Rise Radio 96.3 FM. Today we talk about press freedom. The number we will call in now the voice now 077963963. Please stop or flash the line. I'll come back to and just now run through some newspaper headline. Then we come out today. We start with Calabash newspaper and on the front page. This story, they say, Vice President calls for expanded G7 plus engagement to tackle fragility challenges. And this other story, they say, on International Labour Day, President of SLEF, Kobe Walker, advocates for labor standards and SME support. So those stories, another one that we get at the Calabash newspaper. And so to the Heroes newspaper now, we go, say ACC enlists Kono District's Council in the fight against corruption. These are the stories. Say Minister Mohamed Rado Suarez statement optimizes workers and the state. And this other story, okay, let's move on to the Premier News now on the front page. There is this story where they say Marampa Mines agreement is exploitative. And another story they say as well, Leon Rock Mining Group revolutionizes operations, introduces 10 new locomotives. So those are stories from the Premier News newspaper. I want to look at just perhaps on newspaper more, and then we come back to we topic for talk about press freedom. So the Global Times now they say VP Julia Jallo opens G7 plus meeting in Freetown. And another story, they say MPs elect a new speaker. Plus, this other story, they say Africa Global Logistics commemorates Safety Day at Work. So those are stories all you can find at the Global Times newspaper and more. And there are always more other newspapers, so you can have a check and be informed. The number is 0779 63963. You can call still if you want to add a voice. But for talk about whether the press free or not free, how much you free, how much you not free, what to make you think say not free in the case you believe you're not free, what to make you think you free, which are the explanations that we get to that kind thoughts the way you think like say if free. Send me messages to the number 0779633963 and same way so actually call me through that same number. They will accept your calls and talk to you as much as we want to give you time this very morning. So now, like I'm back to Kone. Earlier you mentioned it's quite clear as well that yes, as much as we talk about freedom comes with responsibility. You know, we get some of we colleagues whether those in the mainstream journalism or those in social media, for any reason, for no good reason at all, they just also put out some content them way. Also, they warrant them being threatened, for example, or they warrant them not being given that kind of freedom for practice as they want for practice.
Definitely. In every society, you must get, or in every profession, you must get bad people. When it comes in the medical, lawyers, accountants, you get bad people. But that don't mean we say for to the line. So in the profession of journalism, we also get we colleague them. We want for practice the different way, and they always then they come in conflict with the law. Okay. So but we in as large normally they caution they will colleague them that and the more reason why they do several they do trainings them for journalists so that they understand the principles of journalism and understand what and them for do because for anything they do it comes with responsibility. Most of the trainings that we do, now we compete journalists back and they can't train where we compete journalists. We don't learn plenty. We will say that we don't learn plenty book because we get with colleagues at the mass communication department. We get the likes of Dr. Francis Soa, we get Dr. Abdurrahman Soare, Dr. Isaac Masakoe. These are all our big journalists in this country. The likes of the Umar Fofana them, Joshua Nicol them. Where they want there and a pool of trainers them. We can always bring them for trained journalists. Sometimes we can get them there. We normal symposium them. We they bring there with colleague they come for talk to journalists them so that they know the things they waiting for do, the ethical principles them. But despite then training we don't do throughout the years we can do yearly. You still get journalists them. We just want to forget their own way. And one of the things we don't happen. We most times tell people when they talk about the politics don't divide the media so much in this country. And that's something that most people don't agree for talk about. But we can always talk down there. That the politics, the national politics don't go into journalism so much that that's why you get a divide of journalists as against the two political parties, the APC and the SLPP. So for anything, if SLP, like where SLP in power so now, for anything good SLP do, you get certain of them journalists in there. Like SLP do any kind of good thing, they're not saying good. Likewise, APC. You get them journalists who don't on the part of the other party. Like anything APC do, whether elect how good it is. As far as they're concerned, it's not good in their eyes. So that kind of divide we don't get over the years. And so you get that then kind of journalists and when they practice responsibly, and they come in conflict with the law. But what will they continue for doing? For continue for talk to them that in as much as you want for practice, you trade freely. You for practice in line with the law. And we all know when the Public Order Act be there, how they arrest journalists every now and then they arrest journalists without reduce. And that they tell us we will practice responsibly. And one of the things we also tell journalists that in as much as the Public Order, Part 5 of the Public Order Act not there any longer. But that law there, the civil aspect of that law still there. And that civil aspect of that law, they can now carry you to courts. They not go arrest you, not go lock you in jail, but they can bring case against you, then carry you to courts. If they carry you to courts, they find you guilty. Let's say they find you guilty, and then fine you 30,000 new leons. you don't get that money for pay, then go invoke the Bankruptcy Act on you. And when they invoke the Bankruptcy Act on you, you know, for practice you trade any longer. So journalists don't forget all of that. But we not reach to that stage yet where they don't really care somebody going to court, a journalist going to court, then find them guilty on defamation, and then find that person and they will pay, and they invoke that. We not reach that stage yet. But I can always tell journalists and say, when you continue for doing that kind of thing, they reach a stage, there are people then who come, we go carry you to court on civil libel. But we not reach that stage yet. And that's the more reason why we can always talk to journalists, we talk to colleague journalists them. And every forum all day, like what you know, some of the things that they talk to now, and for caution some of them, then journalists and where they practice irresponsibly, that then for stop. There's no way if they practice. Me don't practice for the last 23 years as a journalist. So you know one they came in go IMC. One they not put a story out when they came in go IMC. I begin practice as a newspaper journalist. I don't do broadcasting. I don't work on television. I don't work on a radio station. So one day, my story don't make they came in newspaper gonna IMC or not. So I can always caution journalists that wherever are they in the forum, I can talk to with colleague journalists them that I mean you have to. I mean there is no way presentation don't be critical, because being critical you will also be responsible. Me don't mean like critical journalist. I'm always critical about the things about things in society. I'm always critical about things that the government do. I'm always critical about public officials them. But I make sure my criticality they go with responsibility. Because when I do a story, if I investigate a story, I make sure that I get all sides of the story. Sometimes we say forget 3 sides of a story. You can even go beyond 3 sides of a story. As a responsible journalist, you can even get an expert opinion, because let's say you do a story on climate change, or you do a story on gender. You don't get there is a crime committed on the aspect of gender. You don't get the side of the person when are the perpetrator. You don't get the side of the person when are the victim. You also forgo beyond that. Forget a side of an expert. Forget an expert opinion for make your story more beautiful. So I can always talk to journalists that when we I mean this country they so we're not gonna know that side for go, because we as journalists if we put this country on fire today, we're not gonna know side for go. They have a good day, and we not reach to that stage where we don't reach the grounder. We say just as a result of a single radio station, over 100 people then die. We not for reach to that stage there. And I'm sure all of them laws they are also back where government they put in place. Some of them laws are safeguard them for keep with the IMC. The IMC is a safeguard for caution journalists them, not for practice irresponsibly. Because we not for reach to that stage there whereby we begin practice in such a way that where somebody open radio today, you know say this kind of thing when you talk on radio and for hip fits na that area there. We don't reach to that stage. So we always talk to journalists for practice responsibly, because we want to keep society we want to keep that society there, because this society will not get no that side for go. If Salon born today, we will not get no that side for go. And here we did. And we not reach to that stage there. So that's the more reason why I make in as much as we get freedom for practice with trade, that freedom there will not for misuse them. Yeah.
Okay, and then again, I'm Mohamed Kone, in the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists, and they listen to the program Rise and Shine, where they come to me from Rise Radio 96.3 FM. Mina Musa by Cisse. We talk about press freedom today, and today in our World Press Freedom Day. So, Kone, let's look at the facts. Say on this day also now, like what things large can do for also help for make people them not just get the awareness. I mean, people not just perhaps journalists them. As they say, they raise a lot of sensitization issues them or programs them for journalism, but also the wider society for know the importance of press freedom.
Okay, thank you very much. Normally on this day, we can get activities that we will hold on this day. We can put out a release out. We can hold a symposium. We can get then different functions there. Like today, so across the country, now various regions them. Like in Bo, in McKinney, in Kenema, the journalists the way they don't organize themselves, and like in McKinney, they don't decide for whole a session with the police, where then they go throughout the city of McKinney for raise awareness on the issue of press freedom and the responsibility, with we own responsibility as journalists, with the responsibility of citizens, and with the responsibility of the security sector. That kind activity in McKinney today. Also in Bo, similar activity in the form of a workshop will be held where and bring stakeholders then come together for talk to the people on waiting this they mean and how we as journalists then for behave and waiting public also for do, and the same they happen also na Kenema. Here in Freetown, in collaboration with the US Embassy, we get a symposium this morning and na Fobe College, whereby the US Ambassador will get for the day. The President of Women in the Media, Istina Taylor, go day. With President Ahmed Said Nasrallah go day, and that program will be moderated. The Deputy Minister of Information also go day, and that program will be moderated by Amadou Lamanaba. We all know Amadou Lamanaba. Now go moderate the session today na Fobe College. It happened at around 11 o'clock this morning na Fobe College. Wakamoya, I hear they gone for good day so that we all go be part of the activity day. And the activity day basically na for sensitize, for raise awareness on the things them way we as journalists they do. And that program they go also catalog the things that we don't happen with the Sierra Leone media. How free are we? How we they practice? And some of the infringement that we don't happen to the media or colleague them all go be displayed in that program there. All of this now for raise awareness on the press freedom. And we also they copy back from other countries them. I mean, we know the International Federation of Journalism, then also they put a statement out. And that statement then will be collaborated with what we also they do Naya today for mark this day. So basically we get all of the activities that we line up. We line up. That and the more reason if you open other radio stations them where our colleagues and then they throughout the other radio stations them for talk on this day. If you listen to them from McKinney now, you will find out them the Vice President Sir James Banga Dede will talk to other colleagues, other radio stations them across the country. We got our colleagues them also within various other radio stations them where they talk on this day. So basically on this day, where they throughout the country, they talk on the importance of press freedom and waiting we all for do, but also the responsibility of public official or government for protect that press freedom day. Because no other person protect press freedom. The primary responsibility of protecting press freedom lies with the government, not we journalists for protect yourself. Yes, although where you practice, your safety comes first. Now you first for safeguard yourself first. But protecting that safeguard lies with the government. Because government get the responsibility for safeguarding citizens. And we as journalists, we are citizens of Sierra Leone. So government get that responsibility, that primary responsibility for make sure that they safeguard we. So all of that are things that we talk about so that everybody knows this is what is supposed to happen and how we also as journalists how we supposed to practice the trade in a free democratic society.
Okay, I'll come back to that for wrap up now, but I'll take you through some sports headlines where you go look forward to forget the details at 9 o'clock this morning. Quickly, of course, FC Calon come from the behind for defeats Bible Warriors now the ongoing Sierra Leone Premier League now the local field. Yesterday, of course, Bantal FC set for entertain Lambo FC today now the Leon Rock Premier League as well. And SLFA President Tomozadi Brahma meets with the NSA Executive Director, the new Executive Director, now the Dr. Emmanuel Safa Abdullah for Boost Salon Football. And story them plus international story them on sports. We'll get for meet you full one from 9 to 10 this morning on Rise Sports. So quickly, I'll time for wrap up with Corner. What are some of the things that we point out say then still a limits, salon press freedom or press freedom na salon?
The biggest elephant in the room are media poverty.
Okay.
When we talk about economic freedom, we are not economically free. Because how many advert take I? You know, I mean, sometimes when they do a whole month, you not even get jingle. Okay. So all of that they hamper the press because the market is so small. And also as I will talk about that government get the primary responsibility for safeguard the media. Also, in other countries, in other jurisdictions, them there are laws that we government they put for let people for advertisers them for advertise with the media. Yes, we also plenty, and because that again another challenge because also you get 276 newspapers them.
So
you
quick
get,
one. Time really don't go, but this is how we touch. So it also brings me to the fact that we don't get what they call media viability conference or something. How far is that, and how has that contributed for actually create that kind of viability for the media?
The media viability conference we don't come for make sure that we look at media and we develop what we call an account where money go for support the media, what we call development or development journalism. So funding we don't come, $100,000 we don't come, but government counterpart funding for match up with that funding for go to $150,000. Government up to now, government no carry their own money yet. And that money will only be ignited. That money will only become operational according to the donors when government and counterpart funding come. So the secretariat is already set up by MRCG, we're headed by Dr. Soa. That secretariat is now up and running. We don't hold we first meeting with stakeholders for being more donor and come into that fold so that they go support that. But as we speak, the government counterpart funding it, but the secretariat is now set. Very soon, they will soon recruit officials to that secretariat. The secretariat is going to be hosted by MRCG, and whereby for let the media understand purely. Not to say now money we get for the enjoy Rise Radio can't take 50,000. Democracy Radio can't take this. Star Radio can't take this. No, that money not for that. That money, the money we they put on that funding. Now money we me and you or you sit under, you decide say, there's water problem, McKinney. I want to go do a story on that. I put a proposal together and send them to the secretariat. Or there's aspect of climate change aspects where they happen as a community. I want to go do a story on that day. I put a proposal together, I put a budget together and send them. And there's a committee we get for look at them and see yes, this proposal is worthwhile for support. Now that money they for. So let we understand that.
So you have to go through a lot of bureaucracy as well.
It's not a bureaucracy as such because if you say no more this money you Rise Radio can't take, you can't take. It no go fit the purpose. So it's not a bureaucracy. It's just a way of accessing that funding. Now for development journalism, because we know say if you want to go do investigation now somewhere, you press house not able for support you, but that funding is there for support you. Because we know say what you want to go do now something very important. We will raise awareness. We will call government the attention. We will call public attention. So that money and that to get for the for. So bureaucracy not get for the day as much. As long as you proposal is viable, that's why then we call the conference a viability conference. As long as your proposal is viable, you're able for access that funding day.
Okay, rounding off now. Do we have greater hopes of having a better press society in Sierra Leone?
Definitely. Me, I can always say the press over the years don't improve greatly. If you're gonna most media, first you're gonna radio stations them, you meet this kind of setup. But you're gonna most radio stations them today, you meet this kind of setup. Very beautiful, fine setup. You don't get a lot of journalists there now where most of them they are not qualified. They don't go through mass communication, don't get degree. We get journalists now with PhD, plenty PhDs. We get journalists then we get double masters. That they should say the media is growing. Although most of them when they go into PR, they need kind of mainstream journalism, but journalism over the years don't evolve and don't they grow, don't they expand. And just listening radio now, you see people in the talk all kind thing na radio. No. So the only challenge you will still get the citizen journalism will still get where anybody can post anything on social media now. Where even the governments have never regulate social media. I mean, even in the great democracies of the United States, then they find it difficult for control social media. At some point, they say they try for ban TikTok na America. I hope we get that kind of information there. So so then say the gap with social media. I know now in a society like ours where technology not improved to that extent. So social media and they will still get challenge in terms of the kind of content where they put now. But the content the way mainstream media they put out now, these are very good content them. So if and I make finance them most of the money people they listen to the radio and the radio they evolve because first now pass you get you radio you listen on analog. But now I now sit down at the comfort of my office and with my phone I listen to different radio stations them in the morning.
Finally, really, time number two, but let's get this done. Speaking to government now as primarily responsible for actually enhance press freedom, what think will be large message, but also even to the public for enhanced press freedom?
This government don't start on a good footing by repealing Part 5 of the Public Order Act. They also don't try for uphold the democracy we all they yearn for. And me, I can already talk to government that they will continue in that trend. And some of them people that we they come on social media, they threaten journalists them, they very well know that they own people them, let them try for caution them. Because they tell well for themselves as government. Because for any time when I get on operative end, they come against journalists and for things the way journalists put out for threatening journalists, they organ well for the government itself. So the need for caution and people them on some of them things and they because we're not start fine. We don't repeal Part 5 of the Public Order Act. We don't begin support and the government don't support sludge. They give sludge subvention. Although last year and this year we not get subvention it. But for the fact that they start for give subvention to sludge, that is a very good thing. We they also don't they do. Let them continue on that footing there. But the people that we they try for put spanner into their work, and then put in for try for discourage and make sure that they not spoil the good work where they do.
All right, we really get so much to talk about, but we get for top there because of time. Now, exactly the program they left you, Rise and Shine for today. And today we'll talk about press freedom because today now World Press Freedom Day. And for that, we get now the studio, Mohamed Kone. We now the financial secretary for the Salon Association of Journalists. The program will meet you again Monday, fresh edition of Rise and Shine. Plenty thank you to you. Don't take your time for listening. For you watching our Facebook page as well, we want to tell you plenty thank you. Jonah Guy and Intimeki will watch you live now Facebook page as well. Me studio operator now Mohamed Robert. Me executive producer Maram Abad. The rest of the team, Mina Musa. By CC. I will talk to you again when I get the opportunity for do so. Till then, I want to wish all press houses Press Freedom Day, and as well I want to talk to government as well for continue for create that enabling environment to make the press continue for be free in the country. But also, I think we not mention any, but let me just mention this now in the passing that also the society self, the community people them at times these are also the people as well we can throw some spanners against journalism. So let's all ensure the journalists are free for doing their work till other time. Continue for listening to guys get 96.3 FM.